what is the best piece of direction you've ever been given in a set? You know, you were like lost in a part or couldn't get it. I mean, my thing, when I get stuck on a set, it's like, I always ask the actor, what do you think the character wants in this scene? And I may not even know, but we'll work it out. So what, John, what's the best little, some directors taking you aside and said, do this or do that?
I mean, I can think of a situation where I just had it set in my mind to come at a scene in a certain way, and it wasn't matching up with what the director wanted. And again, I think one of the things we've talked about tonight was the director was just very blunt in saying, "Look, this isn't working. Mm-hmm. It's a choice, but you need to make a different choice."
Okay.
And I mean, you just got to, at some point, you got to wear your big boy pants and suck it up and know when what you're doing isn't working, and be confident enough to know that that's not going to dictate either the rest of the project or the rest of that day. You're going to have moments where you're going to have to work through things, and you're going to have times when what you're doing isn't working.
Right.
And
right.
I guess just I appreciate it when a director will just be very honest in a respectful way.
Yeah. Not scream at you on the set. Take
and that's usually what it is. I mean, I'm really actually hard pressed to say that there's been a horrible, horrible situation of working with a director.
Yeah.
Most directors are really respectful of it. You know, I guess it's just saying it as a reminder to stay that way. But to do it in a way that's, you know, respectful of the actor and as the person, saying, you know, let's try something else.
Okay. Christine, what's a director whispered in your ear that suddenly turned a light on in your head?
I think the big one for me was, don't move your eyebrows. I really like that one. No, I mean, but you know, if we get to the outcome we want, and I feel like we always have, when I've been working with a director, then that's good. I can't think of, I mean, when you're in there and you're trying to work out the part, and you're trying to. It's not really the time when the words of wisdom really drop. It's more coming through it. So yeah, I don't know. I joke with directors sometimes that I'm gonna start making a list of my favorite direction. Mm-hmm. Don't move your eyebrows is one, and give me cartoon eyes is another. That was my favorite. Like, he really wanted my eyes to go like this. So I think I did all right. But
okay.
I would just support, you know, what they're saying. A direction I've got, and this is that difference between, sometimes we get so into, like, what is the character feeling? And it's like, we tend to believe if we're feeling it, then the camera's believing it. And there's two different things going on there. And what you're doing as an actor might not be selling that emotion to the camera the way the director wants it. And that I had to be reminded of several times, is something when you get yourself worked into an emotional state, but you know, they're going, you look constipated, you know, you gotta sell me that you're really, like, angry here or something. And so you have to then start focusing on things like your eyebrows or your cheekbones or the way you're holding your jaw, or things that are small, especially when you're working with cameras, because it's not the same as stage. You have to sell those little things, and that's to be reminded that just because you feel it, just because you've got it in your gut that I'm here, doesn't mean that the camera's believing it. And you got to focus on all those things, like the eyebrows or the way you turned your lips down or whatever it is. Right. And they're really small things, and they can change what the camera is believing. And sometimes that's the thing that, as a film actor, the camera's got to believe it. It doesn't matter what you feel. If you got the flu, the camera has to believe you don't, because to get through your day. Yeah. And that's usually little things, details.
Yeah, I've had times where I'm just. A lot of times I'm looking in a mirror, and like no expression. They don't want no expression at all, and let the audience decide what I'm feeling. Let the music that's in the background and the circumstances decide what I'm feeling. So sometimes you think, you know, you got to have this, you got to really show that you're upset, and really it's more about bringing it in and just letting the moment speak for itself.
It's context. It's context of the scene, what happened before and after, and et cetera.
And it's the director knowing it, too.
Yeah.
I think that's the other part of it, is, and the best moments that I've had in a directing setting or working with a director has been when the director knows the story as well and knows the characters in it and the scene as well or better than the actors in the scene, and can bring small little notes to it or even just reminding you of something that's, and if you're shooting out a sequence, reminding you of where you're supposed to be.
Right.
You know, and that's a whole nother thing. But when the director really knows the material.
So the captain of the ship has to know where you're going and
Yeah.
where you've been.
Yeah.
Yeah.